Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Jeffrey Epstein Show. I'm your host, Bobbycapucci, and this is Daily Drop number 133. Let's talk Ghislaine Maxwell, folks. There's a new article out in the Post tonight, and we're going to get into that article in a second. But let's talk about how this lady is still skulking about in the dark, still running her silly-ass operations, still obfuscating, and still ignoring court orders. How does she get away with it? What makes her so special that Ghislaine Maxwell does not get called before the man? How is she still hiding in safe houses? How is that possible? How is she not brought in by the FBI yet for questioning? We know that she's been credibly accused dozens of times at this point. We know that she was running around with Jeffrey Epstein procuring minors for him. Not only that, but she was partaking in the actual physical abuse as well. And yet, Ghislaine Maxwell is still free. She is still out there not answering any questions. She is still out there laying down at night in whatever luxury house she's probably hiding in with not a care in the world. Meanwhile, the survivors are stuck with the whole entire weight of the world on their shoulders, wondering if anyone is ever going to bring the people who assaulted them to justice. Well, it looks like there's a turn for the better in this case, finally. It looks like one of these judges is finally going to stand up to Ghislaine Maxwell and tell her that the buck stops here, that it's time to pony up, Ghislaine. So the article is from the New York Post, and the headline is, Judge Takes Rare Step to Help Serve Elusive Ghislaine Maxwell with a Lawsuit. The article was written by Gabriel Fonrogue, February 14th, 2020. Jeffrey Epstein's crony and partner in crime, co-conspirator, brains behind the operation, intelligence asset, I can go on. Ghislaine Maxwell is so impossible to find that a Manhattan judge has taken the rare step of allowing her to be served with a new lawsuit by email, according to a federal court filing on Friday. How is that even possible? How is it even possible that employees of the court, agents of the law, cannot find her? Shouldn't a marshal be sent out to serve her at this point? Why doesn't her lawyers tell the marshal where she is? Why are people hiding Ghislaine Maxwell? It's disturbing to me to think that anybody at this point would be involved in hiding and harboring this fugitive, because that's what she is. She might not be charged yet, folks, but it's coming. The charges are definitely coming for Ghislaine Maxwell, and that's why you see her hiding. That's why you see her running. That's why you see her with the bullshit story, oh, my emails were hacked. Those emails weren't hacked, folks. That was a shot across the bow to let all of the other co-conspirators know that she still has the dirt on them, and that she will release that dirt if she is in jeopardy. Lawyers for Epstein's sex assault accuser, Annie Farmer, had griped to federal judge Debra Freeman that they've been trying to find the disgraced British socialite to serve her with the complaint filed in November, but that she's done such a good job of hiding that they haven't been able to get to her, court documents show. And we've seen that's on, everybody's saying that nobody can contact her. She's being protected by Navy SEALs, ex-Navy SEALs, that are bringing her from safe house to safe house like she's El Chapo. What is even going on right now? Who needs to go to safe houses? Who needs to be protected? If you're an innocent person, these are not the behaviors of an innocent person, okay? An innocent person comes forward and yells and screams and says, I didn't do any of this. You better provide some evidence that I did this. An innocent person doesn't hide in a cubbyhole. An innocent person doesn't go to ground. An innocent person comes forward and defends their name. But again, that's not the case here. And like with most of these other people involved in this, they'd rather just hide and go away than come forward and answer questions. And I think, personally, my opinion about all of that is, with all of these people, the reason they're taking a step back is because they know that the house of cards is falling down around them. And they know that they're eventually going to be put in the spotlight. And they know that they're going to have to answer questions eventually. Ghislaine Maxwell, on the other hand, is way ahead of the curve. She's on the lam, right? She's like Michael Corleone after he clipped the Turk. She's hanging out wherever the hell she's hanging out, waiting for things to smooth over and for things to die down so she can rejoin the social circles. Isn't that what Laura Goldman was saying? These people are crazy, folks. Honestly, they're so tone deaf, and they live in an altered state of reality. Plaintiff has attempted to locate and personally serve Maxwell to no avail. Her counsel has conducted extensive public record searches and located various addresses for Maxwell. Farmer's lawyers wrote in a January 27th motion imploring Freeman to allow them to serve Maxwell using alternate means. This is crazy. I've never heard of somebody getting served via email. That's just insane. And obviously, I'm not like somebody that follows a bunch of these cases or anything like that. But I always thought that you had to get served in person, right? They have to knock on the door and physically give you the summons. On Wednesday, Freeman granted the motion, acknowledging that Farmer has adequately demonstrated that personal service would be impracticable, and ordered Maxwell to be served by email and through her lawyers representing her in a lawsuit involving another key Epstein accuser, Virginia Roberts. So, wow. The lawyer is saying that Annie Farmer's legal team can serve Ghislaine Maxwell through the lawyers that are defending her in the Virginia Roberts case, not even the lawyers that are defending her in this other case. That's crazy. I've never heard of anything like that either. And it just goes to show you that the court has had enough as well. The court has had enough with these people. And the more of this we see, the better, because the sicker and the more tired these judges get of the nonsense of the Epstein legal team, then the more compelled they're going to be and the more willing they're going to be to release these documents, in my opinion. Miss Maxwell, please see the below text order granting our motion to approve alternate service on you in Farmer versus Indike. Reads the email, which was filed to the court as evidence. Indike, another, just a great guy, right? Another one of these guys that's in charge of the estate. Just another sick bastard. If Maxwell's camp doesn't respond to the suit by March 6th, a default judgment will be placed against her, Freeman said. Freeman ruled, not said. So that's great. If she doesn't respond by March 6th, then there's going to be a default judgment placed against her. And that judgment, she's not going to have any say in that judgment. She's not going to be able to defend herself at all or negotiate the parameters of whatever the suit might be. So she's going to get slapped with the full brunt of the law if she doesn't answer by March 6th. So this is definitely a good thing. This is definitely good to see. And if anyone deserves to get smacked in the face with the law, it's Ghislaine Maxwell. Farmer's lawyers have said they know she's out there because she's been actively participating in the defamation suit involving Roberts, which was filed against her in the same court, and is vigorously fighting the release of documents in that case, the records state. Exactly. We know that she is piped up and put in her 2 cents in that case, so why can't she answer this summons? Why can't she be served in this case? And I think the judge is doing the right thing here. You have to... Look, you can't hide from the summons, right? Not forever. You're eventually going to get smacked with it. So I think the judge is doing the right thing. Let's get the ball rolling here. Let's get this moving in the right direction. Farmer's lawyers told the Post that they are elated to finally serve the elusive alleged abuser. We just don't think she should be able to dodge the law, said one of the lawyers who asked not to be named. Farmer's suit alleges she met Maxwell and Epstein through her older sister Maria, who'd been hired by the billionaire to purchase art for him. And we're all familiar with Maria's story at this point, so I'm not going to go back and talk about that at length. But Jeffrey Epstein used the relationship that he built with Maria Farmer as his employee to get closer to Annie Farmer, Maria's younger sister. And this is the way that Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell love to operate. This is the kind of stuff that they did. And the long-lasting effects on Maria it's hard to even put into words what she's went through because of these people. Epstein began taking an interest in Annie when she was around 16 and eventually invited her to his remote New Mexico ranch where Maxwell pressured her to get naked and then touched intimate parts of Farmer's body and groped her under the guise of a massage, court documents allege. Such a sick bastard Jeffrey Epstein was. I've said it a lot. I am so glad that he's dead. I wish he would have been able to stand trial and all of that, but at the end of the day, he deserved to die. Because what he did, there's no coming back from that sort of stuff. You can't be, you can't get rehabbed for that. There's no rehabilitation for somebody like Epstein. It's a sick man that was a direct threat to society as a whole. Maria was also allegedly abused later on by both Epstein and Maxwell, but she is not named as a plaintiff in this suit. Epstein died in a federal lockup in August. Maxwell is facing at least one other civil suit in federal court in Manhattan, where her buddy Epstein had an Upper East Side townhome. Her lawyers could not immediately be reached for comment. Farmer is seeking undisclosed damages. Yeah, as well she should. Ghislaine Maxwell should not get away scot-free with what she did. She was a huge part of this, and like I said, folks, not just a huge part, but it was 1A and 1B. She was the brains behind this operation. Jeffrey Epstein was just the sick bastard that they found and they used as a vehicle to get to where they were going. It was Maxwell who was the brains of this operation, and I've had that confirmed to me from several people that are close to this case at this point. So even though the media doesn't want to run with that, and they just want to call her a madam, and which is ridiculous on its face as well, because children can't be prostitutes, so they don't want to run with the fact that she's a co-conspirator. It's like they're scared of her, just like they're scared of Dershowitz, just like they're scared of Wexner. Well, guess what? We're not scared of any of these people. All of these evil sons of bitches that took part in this nonsense, they're all getting that smoke. They're all getting that spotlight dropped on them. And Ghislaine Maxwell, well, that's our white whale, folks. This is our Moby Dick. She has to get arrested. She has to be brought to justice because, like I've said several times, she is going to rat. If she gets brought in and she's facing a life sentence for racketeering and RICO charges, she will rat on these people quicker than anybody has ever spilled the beans before. We're talking motor mouth, because at the end of the day, Ghislaine Maxwell could not survive in prison. You really think that this lady could survive in an 8x10? There is zero chance that would ever occur. So let's get her in. There's no more need to build a case. The case is already built. At the very least, convene a grand jury and let's see what they have to say. You know what prosecutors always say about grand juries, right? Well, a grand jury will indict a ham sandwich. Well, let's get rocking then. Let's indict Ghislaine Maxwell and let's bring her in. Remember, Al Capone got arrested for tax evasion. So you can find something. She has done something illegal that you can pin on her, and let's get her charged with that as we work out the rest of these charges. All right, everybody, if you'd like to contact me, you can do that at Bobbycapucci at protonmail.com. That's BOBBYCAPUCCI at protonmail.com. Also, if you would like to help support the podcast, you can do that by clicking on the GoFundMe inside of the description box. All right, everybody, I'll be back tomorrow morning with the usual morning update, and then tomorrow evening with the daily drop. All right, everybody, enjoy your Friday night, and I will talk to you tomorrow.